This presentation is about the new options for the Fuseli 7003 background. This is a photography script for the Fuseli 7003 background. This background is being illustrated in three different ways: as an old master, a master muslin, and as a twistflex. Since they are three different materials, they will each take the paint just a little bit differently, so the backgrounds will be very similar, but they will not exactly match each other. I inserted this slide to give you an idea of the lighting. I call this lighting a wall of light left, because most of the lights are on the left side. This is a wraparound style of lighting, and because all three light sources are very close together, they give the effect of one very large light source. There are also three lights behind the subject. All three light sources are the Denny mini accent lights. One mini accent light was placed in the softbox at the top for lighting the hair. This light bounces off the ceiling and illuminates the hair very nicely. The other two mini lights have grids on them to help control and focus the light. All three of the mini lights have a thin strip about 1 inch wide of the number 99 Roscoe gel over the front of the light to add some warmth to the light. The background was lit from the spillover of light from the main and fill lights. There was no light directed at the background, and the subject was placed 3 to 4 feet from the background. I photograph everything handheld, and my camera's position is between the two lights on the left side of this image where there is a yellow X. This background is the MM7003 Fuseli. The MM stands for Master Muslin. I love getting action into my portraits. In this case, I photographed her from a ladder, photographing down, which trims down the waistline and the legs without causing any distortion. This is the number 1 body position. The lighting is key left and a C head tip. I love to do flow posing, and with this image I could have zoomed in, changed the camera to the horizontal position, and then photographed a close-up or extreme close-up. This is a number 2 body pose with an S head tip. Because she is smiling, I directed the eyes up a little higher to make sure the eyes were fully opened. I used the disc prop that was faux painted to blend with the background. On this image, the subject is seated on the floor. The camera height is slightly above the top of the head. This is a great way for doing head and shoulder portraits, as it makes the body smaller. This pose is a number 2 body position with the head coming across the body and an S head tip. The expression has a Mona Lisa look, a soft smile with the mouth closed. This full-length sitting on floor pose is in a number 1 body position with a broad split lighting and a C head tip. It is my sincere belief that the photographers are making a huge mistake when they purchase backgrounds without the floor. This small additional investment in the floor area opens up so many new posing possibilities, and we all know that exciting posing makes for higher dollar sales. On this pose, we use the Curlicue Prop. This is a great prop for posing and is very light in weight. I think all of these props work best if they are faux painted to match or blend with the background. Remember, no light was used on the background behind the subject. The background was lit by the spillover of light from the main and fill lights. This is the number 1 body position with an S head tip. This is the canvas version of the 7003 Fuseli Old Master style background. This image was done on the Old Master background. The pose is the number 1 body position with a C head tip and a 2/3 facial view. and the lighting was key left. The camera position was slightly above the subject's head. To add a bit of body language to this pose, the body was tipped slightly toward the camera, and the top of the head was tipped slightly away from the camera. The lighting on this portrait is a short loop lighting, which has been the case on most of these images. This has a number 2 body position with an S head tip and a 3/4 facial view. I love the action on this portrait. The strong diagonal lines help to create a feeling of action. The camera was positioned slightly above the top of the head, and the back of the camera was tipped downwards slightly, so the planes of the back of the camera were parallel with the subject from head to toe. In other words, the planes of the camera and the planes of the body were parallel. I love extreme close-ups. They're kind of up close and personal. To me, they tell a very intimate story about the subject. The camera position here was slightly above the subject's head. To add a bit of body language to this portrait, the body was tipped slightly toward the camera, and the top of the head was tipped slightly away from the camera. The squatting pose has been extremely popular, particularly among high school seniors. In this case, I wish I would have moved her right front toe a little more to the right. This is a number 2 body pose with an S head tip, and the camera angle was about 12 to 18 inches above the top of the head, and the planes of the back of the camera and the planes of the body were parallel. The twist flex background is a very portable background and is great for head and shoulder and 3/4 length portrait. This image was done on the twist flex background, and because the background is a little narrower, about 6 feet wide, when doing a 3/4 length pose, I needed to have the subject closer to the background, causing more of the background hotspot to show. On this pose, we introduced one of the Denny chairbacks and put the subject behind it. The pose is a number 2 body pose with an S head tip. The eyes follow the nose and come slightly back toward the camera. The expression, a soft smile. The lighting is a short loop lighting. This is a close-up chin on hand pose. There are many variations of this portrait. I prefer photographing this portrait horizontal rather than vertical because I like the additional space around the image. Try it, you'll like it. This portrait has been the most popular portrait in the senior portrait market for more years than I care to remember. If you would like a copy of this photography script, you can download it from the Denny website. This is Bill Abbey signing off. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and found it to be beneficial.